Chicago Bears go into the 2024 offseason with quite possibly one of the biggest decisions to make with their quarterback spot. Justin Fields, who has had not a bad year, but not an, I would say, excellent year either. It's been good, but not overly terrible for the most part, I would say. But it's been good enough to show Justin Fields could quite possibly keep his job for another year. It's not really one of those, years where he's just been downright terrible and where the Bears have just said, okay, we need to replace you, you're finished. But for the most part, it is safe to say that DJ Moore has done wonders on Justin Fields to this point. Even DJ Moore himself thinks that. But now, like I said before, the Bears are going to have a huge dilemma going into the draft. The Bears right now, obviously, because of the Panthers, they're going to have the #1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. In a draft class that has Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and you can even consider Michael Penix with the way he's been playing to this point a consideration for the #1 overall pick. As of right now, to this point, Caleb Williams is the consequence #1 overall pick in the NFL draft in 2024, and it looks like he's going to the Bears. At least that's what a lot of people think. Now, the Bears were in this exact situation last year where they finished with the #1 overall pick in the draft. They had a chance to get CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, or even AR5. Instead, they chose to trade down with the Carolina Panthers, and they would get the #1 overall pick in next year's draft. Now they're in a situation once again, and you have to ask yourself, will the Bears do it for a second time? Will they pass upon a quarterback for the second time, especially a quarterback like Caleb Williams, who I said before is billed as this generational prospect? Now, personally, I don't think Caleb Williams is a generational prospect. I think he's an absolutely great prospect, but I don't really consider him generational at all to this point. I think he has the talents necessary to be a great quarterback in the NFL, but I don't really look at him and see him as a generational prospect, in my opinion. But like I said before, there's a dilemma because, like I said before, Justin Fields has not been playing terrible. He's not been playing, like a bottom 5 quarterback. I don't even think he's been playing like a bottom 10 quarterback. I think he's been playing somewhere between a 17 to 19 range, but not necessarily the terrible quarterback range where, some people think he is. That is where the conversation for what should the Bears do at the #1 overall pick comes into play because, like I said, Justin Fields hasn't done anything this year to say he needs to be replaced. He has been playing at solid level, I would say. He hasn't played at a terrible level, like I said. But then this also comes into play. Justin Fields will be up for an extension in 2025 if they do decide to decline his 5th-year option, meaning the Bears are going to have to make a decision pretty quickly on this one. Now, hypothetically, if the Bears do decide to accept his 5th-year option, Justin Fields, as of this point, according to Sporadic, he is valued to be around $47 million. For me personally, that feels like a bit much for Justin Fields, and you have to ask yourself, will the Bears do that? Or would they take a quarterback who they don't have to worry about contract for the next couple years? They'll have all the time to figure out if he's worth that contract, rather than extending a guy who still has a bit of questions and still has the answer on if he's that guy or not right now. Justin Fields also has another thing going for him when it comes to that decision as well. He has support in both the locker room and obviously on the fan base. The fan base and the players have said multiple times how much they love Justin Fields, and obviously when that comes into play, you have a very big decision to make about your team. You look at all these other teams who are picking high in the draft, like Sam Howell and the Commanders, Mac Jones and the Patriots, Daniel Jones. They don't exactly have the most support right now from their fan base, and maybe not even the locker room now as far as I'm concerned. So the decision on whether they should draft a quarterback right now for them is more leaning to, yeah, you need to draft a quarterback. But with the Bears, like I said, Justin Fields, he has that privilege of having the fan base and the locker room behind him. Not to mention, he's also not been playing badly like all the quarterbacks I just mentioned. But more questions will come into play for the Bears once again. Like I said, is he really worth that contract extension that he's eventually going to get if they do extend him? Is he truly your guy? Do you truly believe he has the talent necessary to be a starting quarterback in this league? Do you truly believe he's going to lead your franchise into the future, into an eventual playoff game? That's the questions Ryan Poles has to be asking himself leading up to the 2024 NFL draft. While the Bears haven't been playing their best, you could argue there are a few factors around that. Luke Getsy isn't exactly the best play caller. The Bears' offensive line isn't necessarily the best, but somehow Justin Fields is making it work. And you could argue maybe one more receiver next to DJ Moore would definitely help out Justin Fields a little bit more. We saw the flashes of how Justin Fields can play last season despite not having the best receiving core, and now we're seeing what he can do with DJ Moore as they have a really good connection. So imagine what he could do with both Marvin Harrison Jr. and DJ Moore at his disposal, and a somewhat better offensive line as well. Now, here's how personally I would go about it if I was the Bears. The #1 overall pick is going to be very valuable to teams like the Giants, the Patriots, and a lot of these quarterback needy teams, because there are a few quarterback needy teams that are going to be looking for quarterbacks in the draft. You have the Giants, like I said, you have the Patriots, the Vikings might need a quarterback, the Raiders might need a quarterback. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of teams looking for quarterbacks in this draft, as it is a very stacked quarterback draft class. So the Bears are going to have two choices here. You could trade down with both the Patriots, the Giants, or the Commanders, and you would probably get back a huge haul from one of those teams. At most, you're going to get 2 first-round picks back in the first-round pick in 2025. Along with that, if you're trading for the #1 overall pick, they're probably going to get a huge star player in the return. Who they may be, we don't know. Jonathan Allen hasn't exactly been, the most happy guy in Washington, so that may be a guy the Bears might try to get. Now, hopefully the Giants don't do this, but if they do want to trade down with the Giants, Dexter Lawrence could be another guy they try to target. Personally, I'm not really too sure who the Patriots trade. I mean, their pick is going to be, a little valuable if they want to trade down with them, but like I said, not really too sure who they want back for a trade down. But the Bears also have a much easier choice. Stay at #1 overall and take quite possibly the best receiver we've ever seen in the draft, that being Marvin Harrison Jr. So like I said, this is a very tough decision to make for the Bears. #1, is Justin Fields the guy you believe in? #2, do you truly believe Caleb Williams or any of these other guys will be better than Justin Fields? #3, do you stay at #1 and just take Marvin Harrison Jr.? Or #4, do you see more value when you trade back down and you do that? That's 4 choices that are coming into play for the Bears, and that's 4 they have to think about. The offseason for a lot of these teams is going to be fun, and it's going to be one to watch. So for those of you who are high in the draft, and if you're a Bears fan, all you can do right now, sit back, watch, and see what happens. With that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. If you haven't yet, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, and tap the bell icon for future football content. Also, follow me on all social medias down below in the description. X, Twitter, Instagram, all that'll be down below in the description. But like I said before, that's a wrap. See you guys in the next video. Peace.